Hi everyone, and welcome to the Inside NIST Podcast series. My name is Thun, and I am the High School Student Council President. I'm really excited to be hosting our first episode here today. So this podcast offers our community, so parents, students, and staff, the opportunity to gain a deeper understanding of our school by hearing directly from the individuals who help guide and shape NIST. For this episode, we felt it was essential to begin by getting to know firsthand two of the most important leaders in our school's governance. Today, I'm honored to be joined by Khun Wantana Thongthai, Chairperson of the NIST Foundation Board, and Khun Prab Thakral, Vice Chairperson of the NIST Foundation Board and Chairperson of the NIST Executive Board. Thank you both so much for being here today.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's really an honor to be your first guest on your first podcast,
That's
right?
Thank you very much. So, to start, I think many people in our community would love to know a bit more about you both as individuals. So, could you tell us about your journey with NIST, how you first became connected to the school, what your early impressions were, and how that relationship has grown and developed over time?
Thank you very much for having us on your podcast. Okay, I first heard about NIST. This is years ago. Okay, when I was looking for school for my daughter, and I knew back then that my brother has kids who are enrolled at NIST, and he was talking about the IB, education, and I never heard of IB education before actually, and so my husband and I decided, okay, why not? Let's visit the school, and I was very fortunate because Khun Punam was the one who was giving the tour.
I see.
And she was telling us about the school that with the kids or the student learn by the unit inquiry. And at the end of tour, I was so impressed because, when you teach kids to learn by inquiry, you're talking about engaging them, make them curious about what they want to know and how to learn. And I thought, wow, this is the school in which I wish I were having a chance to attend actually. So I was very happy. And then this was our first choice, the only choice actually, and that's how I got involved at NIST.
I see. So you would say it's the school's philosophy of making NIST students thinkers, curious learners.
Learning. When I was growing up, okay, the way you learn is you memorize a textbook.
Yeah.
Okay, you go to exam because you memorize. If you have good memory, then you get A, but not at NIST. Not only must you memorize, I said you have to understand the subject, okay, but the ability to think and want to know more is what NIST education is all about.
I see.
Right.
Perfect. Thank you very much. What about you, Khun Prab?
Well, thank you for having me here. So I studied the IB. And when we were looking for a place for my eldest child, Raisa, who's now graduated, we started looking at all the schools offering the IB program. And likewise, as we visited the school, we found the school to be having a sense of deep learning through basically, not just memorizing, but through driving thoughts for students. And we also thought that the school had a deep sense of humility. So it was very, very clear that NIST became our first choice quite quickly.
I see.
Also, my wife, Soraya, was actually the first batch who joined NIST. So there was a connection there as well. And thereafter, I, in 2009, I believe, put my name in to be going for elections to join the foundation board. And thereafter, having joined the board, I found such deep passion for the school from every single board member. There was a sense of ownership from these people that I was now, at that time, working with. Where, of course, this is a non-profit school and these roles are all non-paid. And that was the beginning of my journey with NIST and how my role evolved at NIST.
Thank you very much for that. I would like to rewind a bit to what you said earlier about joining the board. And this question is to both of you as well. What inspired you initially to become involved at the board level and to take on these leadership roles?
I think I was speaking as from the parents' perspective, okay? As a parent, I believe that education is fundamental and is a key success to our children's success in the future success, let's put it that way. But the definition of success for me is not only academically or financially, but also as a good citizen, okay? Meaning like that you have to be socially responsible as well. Okay, and I got involved because from urging from friends, just very much like Khun Prab. I run for positions, and I was able to be elected on their foundations and continue on for about 8 years, and also serve as an executive board as well. And I think it gave me the opportunity really to be able to connect with other board members, and to talk with have a chance to talk with the leadership team. All of us share the same vision. The same passion about doing what is best for our children. Okay, for me, when you talk about kids' children, we're not talking about just our kid, just my kid, let's put it, but we talk about everyone in the communities. And that to me is something that is very rare. Okay, and NIST Foundation Board, okay, is very much into that. Okay, it's for everyone, not just anyone, but everyone. Okay, that's how I got involved.
I see. So it's that passion to provide, all NISTies that holistic learning experience and that sense of belonging and that sense of care that everyone here gets and deserves.
Wow, you should run for president. I mean, a country, not just at this student council. Okay, very well put.
What about you, Khun Prab?
Well, likewise, I was asked to put my name in to run for elections. And at that time, when I was able to, get through the elections and join the foundation board, I was the only foundation board member who had done IB. The foundation board the construct was actually filling the gaps that the school needed at the time to grow in terms of skill set to, bring the school to where it is now today. And very quickly, and the years have gone by now, I started getting involved in the campus development, ensuring that the hardware of the school met the learning needs.
I see.
And was able to adapt to the evolving nature of learning. And there was always a deep sense when being in foundation board meetings and serving on then the executive board that really the key stakeholder at this school is everyone's child.
Right.
And I think fundamentally when a foundation board works with that goal and when an executive school board works with that goal, we achieve collectively the best outcomes.
Now, I want to go back to what you said earlier a bit. You said that you were the first member of the board who had gone through the IB. So how did that help propel your experience and insights going into the board and working with other members?
Life has been quite serendipitous to me. And I had the opportunity to go to one of the first IB schools in the region called United World College in Singapore. And I had seen the rigor of the IB program. And I had seen the quality of personality that had come out of people who went through IB programs. And as I aligned into the NIST Foundation Board, it became very, very clear that a lot of the qualities of what I saw in that nonprofit school was very apparent in this school.
I see.
And it also became my kind of internal ambition to beat UWC. Not for competitive reasons, for reasons going back to fundamentally ensuring that every child flourishes, making us truly a preeminent school. And through that experience I had in life in my younger days at United World College and coming to what was quite a young school, that's how I, shared my experience and gave my time along with other foundation board members to create a school that is moving towards preeminence.
I see. So then you would say that that experience in IB helped cultivate that passion to replicate, or on an even larger scale, or even supplanting that experience. It's what really drove your passion and your desire.
Yeah, IB is rigorous. It's a tough program. And creating a learning environment and applying it to ensure that children are going to do their best in all facets of life, character building, education, and ensuring that their future is bright. A lot of that was part of my kind of execution based on my experience having gone through IB myself. Understanding the rigor and how tough it is. And I'd like to add, actually, there are some conversations where people say, you don't need the IB to go to a certain university, for example, in the US, whereas you need the IB to go into, and IB is an option to go into a lot of European schools, including the UK. Having said that, if one were to say that you don't need the IB to go to, say, a certain set of schools, for example, like the US, I would still encourage that a child growing into adults experience the IB to build character.
I see.
To build character and to have that wherewithal to pursue that through life.
Thank you very much for that insight. Now, moving on to the next question. This one is to Khun Wantana. Since stepping into your role, what's something you've learned about the NIST community that really stands out to you?
I think it has to do with the parents, the families involved. Okay, I'm just trying to take you back. Imagine back long time ago. When I first started, my daughter started at NIST. Okay, in those days, parents or family were not much involved with the school. So our community is kind of loosely as a communities. But after I became the board member, we try to encourage families to be more involved. Okay? Right now, if you look fast forward now, we have more than 20 cultural groups, and you have the Teachers and Parents Association, or NIPTA. Now they're playing more active role in the community, right? And I think the important thing for me is that I always think of this quote that said that it takes a village to raise a child. So for me, by involving all the stakeholders, when you talk about stakeholders, it's not just families. You're talking about teachers, supporting staff, leaderships, and also board members, right? If all of us can work together, we actually create an inclusive, supportive and caring environment. One thing I find amazing is that I have not been back to NIST for many years, but every time that I come back for a visit, every time you step inside this NIST compound or the school, you feel the sense of belonging, of welcoming, that I think is very rare to have that vibe. And I think we are very lucky that NIST have that. And another thing that I think is very true is that you hear at your graduation is that once a NISTie, always a NISTie.
Yeah.
Believe me, it really is true. Okay, because you do have alumni who will come back and share their experience with the students or contributing in various ways. And these alumni are very successful in their field. And yet the tie that they have with the school is so strong that they want to come back, and help. Okay? So for me, I think community is the key, and we do have a very good community.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like our community is is really close knit. It's, as you said, welcoming, and the vibe here is just really warm. I
Right.
feel like. Now, a question to Khun Prab. For parents who might not fully understand what the board does, how would you describe your role in, say, simple everyday terms?
The function of the Foundation Board and the function of the Executive School Board, where the Executive School Board is selected by the Foundation Board and the Foundation Board is selected by the community, is to ensure that governance operates well within the school. Everyone on the Foundation Board is there to contribute towards governance, to provide a framework so that the execution of what the school does, academics, the operations of the school to drive academics, operates in a way where it is at its best. The Foundation Board members and the Executive School Board members are not here to run the academics of the school. That is not our expertise. Our expertise is to ensure that the school has the correct resources, and those resources are implemented, and those resources are running well to ensure academic and operational excellence. That's our role.
I see. Thank you very much. And now, moving on, another question to Khun Wantana. How do the Foundation Board and the Executive Board work in tandem with each other to support the school?
As a Foundation Board members, our role is to set policies and long-term directions. Okay, and with that, it is up to we empower the Executive Board to implement that together or work closely with the leadership team. You got to understand one thing too, that NIST is one of the very few schools in which the Executive Board and the Foundation Board are all parents, except the chair of the Foundation Board.
I see.
Okay. Being parents, you know that our interest will be for all the children. Okay. So I think that's a key difference between us and other schools.
I see.
Okay, because we always put children first. Okay, so that's our role.
I see. So you would say that by having the majority of the board consist of parents, it truly sets everyone's mindset towards what's best for the children of NIST, the students at
Right.
NIST.
Not majority, all except one.
Yeah.
Okay, of course, the family that here value education, right? And having parents sit on a board, you know that all the direction, all the policy will be catered toward the children well-being, right? To that education, to the best that the school can provide.
I see.
Okay.
Got it. Now, switching gears a bit, to both of you, what excites you most about NIST right now?
Okay, I go first. If I can be honest,
Yeah.
everything. I'm really so excited about everything that's going on in this. When you look at it, you look at our infrastructure, our facilities. Okay, we have one of the best, first-class facilities that in Bangkok, so to speak. And then you look at the teaching, the teachers. Every year there is an assessment. Okay, the leadership team will go through the assessment. They look through the curriculum to make sure that we're up to date. And they are teaching the student a skill that you may not know that you need in the future, because you don't even know what career you're going to do in the future. There could be something that you never thought of,
Yeah.
right? So that's what they're doing. And the last part would be the connected community that we have, right? With the family connected and playing active role in shaping this environment, to be inclusive, caring, supportive, as I mentioned earlier. What's there not to be excited, right?
That's right.
Yes, that's why I'm saying I'm excited about everything about this.
I see. I see. What about you, Khun Prab?
The vibe, the energy, just talking to students and how eloquent and knowledgeable our students are. the way that our community conducts itself in a manner that is very warm as well. That excites me about NIST. And what excites me is when I attend graduation event every year and I see a student go from student to not being a student, moving into the real world. That event excites me the most every year.
I see.
The vibe and the energy that I talked about truly, truly peaks at that event. Always, every year. And it's a beautiful event, and that excites me about this.
So now moving on to our next question to Khun Wantana. Looking ahead, how do you see NIST growing or evolving over the next 5 to 10 years?
Okay. I think 10 years is a bit too far. Okay. We're living in a world of AI and all this high technology. So I cannot, and I don't want to even dream about thinking of 10 years from now. But in 5 years' time, I hope NIST continue to be the number one choice for parents who value progressive education. Okay? And one thing that I hope NIST will continue to do is that to teach students to think big, but learn to, to do or to imagine positive things or do positive things in a small step every single action and every single day. Take, for example, we always talk about, sustainability, saving the environment. But if at home, you run the tap while brushing your teeth, and you think so big about, I'm going to save the world, and yet you let the water run, right? So you can think as big as you want, but the little action that you do every single day
I see.
will actually put you where you want to be.
Gotcha.
And I hope that NIST continue to do that. I hope NIST continue to teach the student to think that way. And that's all. That's all I have.
I see. So you hope that NIST central identity of that progressive learning remains throughout the years, no matter the technological
Correct.
developments
Correct.
or.
Correct. Very well said,
I see.
Mr. President.
Thank you very much. Moving on to Khun Prab. From your perspective, what are some of the big ideas or long-term goal you're most excited to help the school work towards?
Before I answer the question,
Yeah.
I'm just going back to what you stated earlier. You have 1.5 years to graduate, right?
Yes.
Are you getting a teddy bear?
I am indeed getting a teddy bear.
Oh.
Good. All right. Now I'll answer your question. We are probably facing the biggest change in terms of many contexts, but also education that we've ever seen in history because of AI. And it actually worries me, and it does keep me up sometimes. I do think about this a lot. How do we face AI, and how does one actually learn in this era of AI? There's no answer yet, but we have to begin to ask this question. We must use all resources available to us, internal and external, to answer this question. Because the fundamental aspect that AI intervenes and assists in many life tasks today means that the skill set of people and the needs of society will change. How it is going to change is in the future. One must begin to ask what that is.
I see.
And when we ask what that is, and we have a set of ideas, there is no panacea. There's no right answer, I believe. Then we can begin to drive strategy, adaptation to learning and how we execute learning for everyone in the school, not only the students, but all stakeholders, because this is a journey that we are all going to have to take together. And whilst we have an innovation center, as I think about this, today innovation resides everywhere. In fact, we should have more than an innovation center. The school should be innovative. So therefore, how we actually adapt to AI and how we adjust learning is fundamentally going to be the single most important aspect that we as a school have to execute in the years to come. And we have to do it well.
I see. So regardless of what the future holds, you think that learning to adapt and coexist with AI would definitely be fundamental in developing and moving forward?
Yes. This is not when the word processor was formed, like Microsoft Word, and we went from handwriting to typing things, right? This is really the change in the way people behave in life and the way we basically analyze life. This is all changing. So the very question of how do we teach? What does one learn in this day and age? That's a big question. And I don't have the answer. There is no panacea. I say that again. But we will have to definitely take up this question quickly and soon to adapt.
Got it. Thank you very much. Now, a question to Khun Wantana. If you were speaking directly to a NIST student who hopes to be a leader in the future, what advice would you give them? Or from your perspective, what makes NIST students unique as well? So 2 questions there.
Okay. Can I ask, what do you see? You are a NIST student as well. What do you see yourself as?
Post-graduation, first of all, I feel like I need to garner experience going out into the world that NIST has prepared me with all the real-world applications I get to engage with in class. I still feel that engaging and garnering that experience post-graduation is going to be vital for anything I want to pursue in the future. And to be completely stark with you, I don't know yet what I want to do in the future. But what I do know is that, and what NIST has taught me, is that through experience, through focus, through passion, there is no limit to how far I want to and can go.
Good. Okay. So if I were to ask you, describe NIST student, what would that be?
Actually, I think I have one word, and that's holistic. I feel like NIST students, we are very versatile. We take different classes. We learn subjects in multiple disciplines, and I feel like we are able to apply that in everything we do, and I think it sort of bleeds into everything we do as well.
Okay. Interesting. What you see as NIST student in yourself is pretty much what I have in mind as well. You know, when I look at NIST student, a lot of my friends laugh when I say this, but I always say that NIST is like a mighty duck. Because you can walk on the ground, you can swim, you can fly, you can dive. And a duck is very resourceful, right? They're multi-talent, versatile, and survival. Right? So for me, that is NIST. NIST students have the ability to endure any changes because you guys evolve all the time. You adapt to whatever hardship that you may face, like a duck. And your survival. If this place is too cold, just fly away to find a warmer place. And
That's right.
if I were to say one thing to advise, as you asked just now, your first question, I would just say that, in life, nothing is ever perfect. Right? And every day, just find, for me, I would say a chocolate moment in life. Write down every night before you go to bed. Ask yourself, what is it that made me so happy today? What did I do? What incident that made me so happy today? And do that every day. Because there will come a day in which you really I can't do this anymore. And when you're about to give up, you can always go back and read all your chocolate moments.
I see.
That will come. The real world is hard, for sure. But if you have that, something that you can always go back to celebrate, a small moment, you guys will be okay.
I see. Thank you very much for that advice. Now, to finish, and to the both of you, if you had to describe NIST in just 3 words, what would they be?
This is a hard question. Well, 3 words, huh? I would say learn. Okay. I always look at NIST students on NIST as a school that's always evolved, because NIST educate students to be a curious lifetime learner.
Right.
And if you continue to learn, continue to evolve, continue to upskill yourself, no matter what happens in the future, you'll be okay. That's one thing. Second, grow. If you learn, then you can grow, for sure. Okay? And lastly, would be to lead. Yeah. I'm not talking about being a leader of the world, like world leader of the country, or be head of the country. No, I'm talking about leading by example. Okay, I believe that in every one of us, we have a place in this world. Okay? We don't have to do anything big, okay? But if we could lead by example, do good things, that you can actually influence your sphere, the close friends, and that to me is what or who NIST is. Ability to learn, to grow, and then to lead. Lead by example, walk the talk, and that's NIST.
I see.
Okay.
Got it. What about you, Khun Prab?
3 words is very difficult.
Yeah.
So I'll give you 3 phrases or statements. The quest for learning resides in every child here. 2, the ownership resides within all stakeholders here to make sure that that quest of learning is done at the highest levels. And the agility, my third aspect, the agility and the humility of our students is extremely present within the community. Those would be my 3 kind of descriptions
I see.
of NIST.
I see. I definitely agree with you both. And if I were to have to describe NIST in just 3 words, for me, it would probably be community, curiosity, and most importantly, home. I've been at NIST since EY1, and I couldn't imagine myself being anywhere else, basically. I feel like NIST has really shaped me into who I am today. I learned a lot, have the opportunity to meet wonderful people, always make new connections, new friends, and I feel like that diversity NIST holds is also something that's truly valuable to us. I think.
So once a NISTy.
Always a NISTy. That's
Yes,
right.
exactly.
So
That's it.
Thank you so much, both Khun Wantana and Khun Prab, for sharing your stories, insights, and vision with us today. It's been really meaningful to hear how NIST is guided at this level and how much care goes into shaping the future of our school. And thank you to everyone listening. We hope this conversation has helped you gain a clearer understanding of NIST and its governance. This has been the NIST Inside Podcast series. See you next time.